Your Honor, this case is not simply about the silence of Christopher and Roberta Laundrie, who knew that their son had brutally murdered Gabby Petito. It's not simply about their callous refusal, despite pleas from the Petito family, to speak up about whether or not Gabby was alive and if she wasn't, where her body was located. It's about a course of conduct that they committed from the moment they learned on August 28th of 2021 that their son had brutally murdered Gabby Petito up until the time that her body was found. And as this court has already noted and pointed out, that includes the statement that was made the one time they decided to speak up. They spoke up through their attorney, and I'll touch upon the importance of that in a little bit. As the court knows, you're bound to accept as true all of the facts alleged in the four corners of the complaint, and I'd just like to review what some of those allegations are.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Riley. And let's lay aside the statement that the attorney made on behalf of the Laundries. What duty did the Laundries have to do anything to help Mr. Petito and Ms. Schmidt?
That's a fair question, Your Honor, and I've struggled with the answer to that particular question, and I guess maybe by answering this I'm deflecting, but my answer is this. It's about what they did with the information that they have, not just not disclosing what they knew to the Laundries. And by the way, they could have, to the Petito family, they could have made an anonymous phone call and said where the body was located, and that would have helped this situation tremendously. They knew, starting on August 28th of 2021, that Gabby was dead. They knew where Gabby's body was. They knew that the Petito family was desperately searching for information, but they did things affirmatively. They didn't just remain silent. Brian Laundrie came home in Gabby Petito's van by himself to his family's home. That family, knowing that Gabby was dead, knowing their son had murdered her, knowing where the body was, and in particular, knowing that Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt were desperate to learn where their daughter was located, they went on vacation. They assumed and continued their normal life as though nothing had happened, while this family was suffering, wanting to know what their daughter was. Not only did she not...
Let's get back, though, to legal duty. I hear what you're saying, that these facts might sound bad, but we're not talking about social mores here. We're talking about legal duty. So let's try to focus in on what duty did the Laundries have? What did they owe to Gabby's parents?
Well, let's put in perspective what the relationship was, Your Honor. These people were not strangers. These people were, their son was engaged to marry Gabby Petito. Gabby had lived with them for about a year. They had both visited Joseph Petito's home and Nicole Schmidt's home. They were cordial. They had a cordial relationship, a warm and friendly relationship. They knew how much Gabby meant to Joe and to Nicole. Going to the issue of the duty, Your Honor, I struggle with that. Admittedly, it's difficult to say what it is, and that's why I'm saying there was a course of conduct that they did that was outrageous, culminating, in my view, in a statement that was made by their attorney, who, as Your Honor pointed out, is their agent. And what that attorney said in particular is telling. So there's no question that he represented, that he was making that statement on behalf of the Laundries, because he says, it is our understanding that a search has been organized for Miss Petito in or near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming on behalf of the Laundrie family. It is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. That statement was issued with the full knowledge and consent of the Laundries, with the full knowledge on the part of the Laundries that Gabby was not alive and that Gabby's body was located somewhere out west. And instead, they make a statement saying, we hope you find her. We hope you're reunited, giving them false hope that perhaps their daughter is still alive. If that's not outrageous, Your Honor, I don't know what is outrageous. So I think when you talk about their affirmative duty to speak up, I struggle with that. But they did speak up. And when they spoke up, they made that very callous, that very terrible statement, giving hope to Joe and Nicole that perhaps Gabby was still alive, with full knowledge that she was not.